in for a treat now. My love for Mrs. Moffitt started in college, and I think we love to hear her because she is so relatable, right? The enemy wants us to think that we're all alone, and she makes us realize we're in this together. Mrs. Moffitt, come on up.
Since I was here, I've had a total hip replacement on June the 8th. So that was my challenge right there, to get up those stairs, and I did not fall down. So I'm very grateful for that. I absolutely love the South. I'm about as Yankee as they come, but I always say I'm a Yankee with a Southern heart. Because you never seem bad or mean. If you are, you never act like it. I mean, I can just imagine you saying, bless your heart. No, how would you say, bless your heart? I hate you, darling. I mean, you're just so nice about everything. I don't know if you even are mean to do that, but I love the South. I always love when I come down south. It seems like I end up in the South more than anywhere I go. Lord willing, I will be in California in November, and in fact, near the Salazar, Santa Maria, I think I'm going. But I end up in Las Vegas. Stay tuned. I have a 6-hour layover. You could do things for the bus ministry. There's a lot I can do to raise some money, you know. But I have not done that. I have not done that. But I love the Southern people. And right away, when you get here, they always say, I have an accent. One kid said, you sound like Hitler. I said, Hitler, you know. I said, did you know him? Oh, yes. He did not know Hitler. You know, he's too young. He says, no, you have hard sounds. And we do. I teach speech at Hiles Anderson College. You know, hey, you guys, get over here. Right now, get here, get. And you pull out your machine gun for sure. I love the South, though. I love Kathy Berry. I love Kathy Berry. I do. She's a sweet friend. I don't see her that often, but I always said when you meet again, it's like you never left each other because your heart's knit. Seeing so many of you possibly were at the college or in a different meeting, I'm so honored to see you. I'm so glad to be here. I'm so glad to be anywhere at this stage of my life. I've just had more crazy things happen in the last few weeks. Now, you're not going to believe this, but I have witnesses. To remove the hip, it should be a simple procedure. Of course, it wasn't. I had a dream they took out my neck and put it in my hip. And it was so real, you know. And I said, is my neck okay? And the doctor kept looking at me like, you are mentally deranged. I said, I know it's gone. You know, you're kind of under whatever I was under. I said, my neck is gone. He said, your neck is there. I said, no, you put it there. And this guy kept looking at me like, she's weird, you know. This past couple weeks, the things that happened really happened. But I think God wants me to have the word. And he does you too. You can be a friend to everyone by having joy and by sharing joy. This is like my little buddy. I just like him. I really do. If we can only do this more often, we don't smile often because we're concerned about ourselves and how we're going to, how we'll be, or how people are going to see us. My teeth. You know, at my age, everything's falling out. I mean, the teeth are falling out. Did you realize? I mean, this is wonderful logic, I'm sure, but you come into the world and you leave the same way. Did you ever think about things like that? Really? The teeth falls out, the hair falls out, you're in diapers, drool. You know, people carry you around. I mean, it's pathetic. It's really pathetic. Then the parts start leaving. The last meeting I was in, where'd I go? Georgia. I set off an alarm going through TSA, TFA, TFO, whatever they are over the airport. He said, you just set off an alarm. People are coming all over. He said, what do you have on you? I said, perfume. I said, I don't know. What do you mean? He goes, you have a gun on you. One of my kids put a cap gun in my purse to give to someone, and they thought it was a real gun. I didn't go to jail that time, so I was safe. I didn't go to jail, I did. But just about a week and a half ago, this was a simple thing. Do you shower? I mean, you don't have to give testimony right now, but I mean, just taking a shower, the door fell off the shower and landed on my foot. If you want to see what's still left of it, you can. It's still puffed up. Then, do you see this? My daughter has a goat. Not many of you have goats, I'm sure, but my daughter has. You have a goat? Congratulations. She has 2 also. They have names, but I forgot them. And the goat jumped off the stair, landed on my leg, and then his hoofs went down there. And so I went after all the repairs I had done and all, I went to the doctor to get these injections. Now they're injecting gel into my knee to, like save the whale, save the knee, because I'm going to have this knee replaced in the summer. I failed my EKG, so I have to wait till I can pass it. And then I'm going to have this knee replaced where the same side as the hip is. It's crazy how I live, So I went to the doctor yesterday to have the knee final injection, and he looked at my leg. He goes, "What happened?" He said, "I don't think I want to ask you." I'm not sure I want to ask you. I said, I always should act like it's just normal. I was at my daughter's, and we were in the house, and the goat jumped off the stair. He said, "The goat was in the house?" I said, "Well, it's not a finished house. They're building it right now." The goat jumped off, and then his hoofs went down. He goes, "What happened to your foot?" I said, "Well, the shower door fell off on my foot." He said, and he says, "No, where are you going tomorrow?" I said, "North Carolina." He went, "No, not North Carolina. My husband will vouch for this." I thought, what is his problem? He goes, "Weren't you in North Carolina and you slid down that pole?" I thought, this is real hard. Right here is the one that's responsible for me going down the pole. They had a Batman superhero theme, right? So a superhero. My daughter and I, well, why not dress for the occasion? I was Batmom. I was dressed like Batgirl. She was a Batgirl and I was Batmom. Wasn't that true? Yeah. You were dressed up too. Kind of. You were. Oh, you were Wonder Woman. The college itself didn't fit her. Yes, it did. But anyway, so Joy, when they're introducing my daughter, this is all just normal, everyday occurrences, right? My daughter, they have two, I'm not joking, you'll vouch for this. I know people think I just dream this stuff up, these stories. Two huge poles, weren't they, Kathy? Like 25, 30 foot up in the air with okay, right here, picture, two huge poles, and it's all blacked out. It had like pow, wow, bam, jam, all the wonder. And at the beginning, it was dramatic. And of course, I get involved. I'm dressed like them. And Superman came down, right? And then Batman and Captain America, and all down this huge pole. To get up to the pole, you had to go behind there. Listen carefully. You go up this 25, 30 foot ladder. But when you got up there, you couldn't go over. You had to go on this. It was kind of just like a plank type thing. You had to walk across like this. Scaffold. It was an everyday occurrence, right? No. And then where the actual screen was with all the black material and all the powwow, you had to walk across this little ledge to get to the pole. In my 70s, I can do this. Because she said, what did you say? "I'll give you $50 if you do it." And I thought immediately, we go out on Sundays. I pick up something like Chipotle when I travel. I'll pick up something. I could buy the Chipotle salads. I will have it all fixed. So Joy spoke. Joy, we're waiting for her to be introduced. And now we have Joy Moffitt. She's not coming out, remember? She wasn't coming out. And I'm thinking, where's Joy? Where is she? And all of a sudden, she comes down that huge pole. Do you understand how high up it is with a black screen? It was so dramatic. Huh? It was great. Great or rain, did you say? Great. I thought rain, I didn't say rain. It was great. And then she said, "I'll give you $50 if you do it." My husband said to me before I left, he said, "JoJo, you're always telling people when they get to the hotels to jump on the beds. Why did they make the beds so sturdy? If you're in a hotel, you jump back and forth. And if there are two of you, you can jump across and hit hands. And when you get good, you can hit the ceiling. There's so much you can do. So before I left, my husband said, "Sit down." I felt like I was in court. "Is it true that you tell these ladies that they can jump on beds?" "Yes, sir." "Do you jump on beds?" I said, "Oh, yeah, I'm the one that I get them." "No, you're not jumping on beds. You just had your knee replaced." That was another surgery. And I said, "Okay." So I had to say, "I will not jump on the beds." My kids are laughing hysterically. I'm 4 years old. "I will not jump on beds." "JoJo, you promise?" "I promise I will not jump on the beds." He did not tell me not to come down a 25, 30-foot pole. So during lunch hour, when everyone's eating, I am now thinking how I'm going to do this without dying. And so this cute little black boy, he said, he was Batman. He says, you go up with me and hold on to me. I said, that wouldn't look good at all, me coming down holding on to you like that. He says, "Okay, I'll hold the ladder." If you could have seen us during lunch hour, me climbing up this ladder, thinking, I'm probably going to die, but if I do, maybe I'll fall backward. They won't see it happen. And I'm walking across this wooden plank held up by cables to go on this real narrow ledge. And then Joy said, Mom, I'll go first and I'll throw them. Do you remember? So she went down, she was going down one pole, and then I'll go down the other pole. Well, I got across like this, and it is high up. And I'm like a tightrope person that I've never done it before. I got to the pole right out here, right? No big deal, right? Right, there's a pole. I said, wait a minute, the pole's out here. How do I get it to hold? Oh, Mom, it's nothing. She's only done it one time. Take the pole, hold on to the pole, and as fast as you can, grab your body against it. I did, but it didn't work. When I did, I went like an arrow shooting out. Whoa, and I went down. I came down like a jet. And at the bottom was this big metal piece. And I hit the knee that was replaced. And all I kept hearing was saying, don't jump on the beds, don't jump on the beds. I didn't, I did not. And as I could feel my knee swelling, Kathy was right in front. Do you remember what I did? I said, 50, give me the $50. Is this a true story? And she gave me the $50, and I couldn't stand. It was so swollen. My daughters, we need a chair for my mom. It was the last speaker. I sat down, I think my leg had it elevated, and someone said, she needs ice. Yeah, ice. I've never done anything. They got a baby little ice thing from the nursery, this real tiny thing, and I'm putting on my knee. Then, I'm not making this stuff up. She's a witness to this. Then I'm sitting there trying to get control of this group that was out of control. You know, I'm sitting like a Miss Priss with the thing on my knee, and all of a sudden I look down the aisle, and there was an artificial leg sitting in the middle of the leg. A lady had a prosthesis from the knee to the foot. She unscrewed it and put it right in the middle of, and now I'm thinking, I said, Joy, is that a leg? She ran back and got the leg, and she brings it up. It was out of control. It was out of control. The lady felt sorry for me, was giving me her leg. Oh, it was a sight. This is North Carolina to me. So then, and a year later, I was back again. That same lady unscrewed that leg again to show me she was still alive. So finally, it ended. It was a great spirit and everything like that. We got on the plane. We're sitting across from each other. Did you ever get tickled about something? It's not funny, but everything's funny. Joy's sitting on one side, I'm sitting on the other side, and I look at her, and we just start laughing, you know, with my little bag of ice, this baby bag of ice that they took away from me going through security and gave me more on the plane, except when we got into the car. I could hardly walk. My knees all swollen. You're wondering if all that surgery has been in vain. I got in the car and sat down like nothing. Joy got in the back seat. I put the ice pack on top of my purse, and it fell over on my husband's lap. He said, is that an ice pack? I said, I think it is. You know, I do believe that is an ice. Yeah, it is. And Joy's trying not to laugh. He looks at her, he says, Joy, why does your mother have an ice pack? And she went, well, JoJo, why do you have an ice pack? I said, well, you were jumping on beds. No, I didn't. They had a 20, 30-foot pole, and I climbed up the pole. You did what? I said, no, Kathy Berry promised me $50. What if somebody promised you $100 to jump off a bridge? Never mind, don't even answer me. It was okay, it was still quite swollen, but I had to see the surgeon on Monday. So you walk in, dragging your leg, and so I sat down, and the lady walks in, the nurse, and she said, oh, something happened? I said, yes. I acted like it's an everyday occurrence. So what happened? Oh, I had an accident. Well, how did it happen? Well, I was dressed up like Batman's wife, you know, and I went up this pole. And when I came down the pole, you know, have you been up a pole? No, ma'am, I've never been up a pole. How old are you? I said, 74. And she said, why did you do that? I said, well, my friend Kathy Berry promised me $50. And she said, you went up about 25, 30, whatever it was, pole, and you slid down and yes, ma'am, and I hit my leg. It just happened. And she goes out in the corridor and tells the doctor, and they're all dying laughing, you know. And you come back, and he said, well, this is a topper. I've never heard it. You know, when you come here, something always happens. So this is the same doctor I had to face this past Thursday with the leg, with the foot, and then saying, you are not, he said this in front of my husband, you are not to go up any poles. I said, it's not the same church. It's not the same church. But I just thought about, to be a joy spreader, I just spread joy. Be of good cheer is what I was thinking of. I have this here just as a little visual aid. We cheer people all the time, or we don't. You can encourage anybody. You can have fun. We had fun at the airport, didn't we, today? And going, I mean, it was calm. It was calm. It really was. I didn't sleep a whole lot. By the way, when I'm tired, I get very silly, so I hope I don't appear that way. But I slept from 12 to 3. I overslept today, 3 hours I slept. I couldn't sleep. I get too excited about everything. I really do. But I was thinking about this. I thought, this reminds me, this is a part of a swordsman outfit of cheerleaders at Hammond Baptist School. They gave this to me. It's a little big for me, but they gave it to me and put my name on the back. This I'll wear at the restroom in case I don't know who I am. I'll have my name with me wherever I go. But how we could cheer people. You know what enthusiasm has a lot. Enthusiasm, a keen, intense interest is what it is. It's encouraging people on, no matter how you feel. We had a pretty quiet, where is Petey? Where is she? Is she here? Is Petey here? She's a dear friend of ours that traveled with us to surprise her daughter. She has a daughter here and another daughter she's surprising. She just started chemotherapy. Her second treatment was this past Tuesday. I want this to be a pleasant time, a fun time for her, an exciting time for her. She's swelling real bad right now, and she's getting water pills while she's here. But you know you can still enjoy it and have a good time, and we were trying to have an upbeat time. What I do is I used to gripe when my husband, not gripe on my husband, but he told me whenever I travel, I have to use a wheelchair. A wheelchair? I'll do it, but I really don't like a wheelchair. And he said, why don't you make it a ministry? I went, we mean like get more friends, go in wheelchairs? I didn't know what he was talking about, hurt people and put them in wheelchairs. I didn't know what she meant. I didn't think he meant that exactly at all. But he says, no, why don't you make it a ministry? And that's what I've tried to do. It was fun, wasn't it? I forgot the name's name, Guadafo or something, Gustavo. He was the man that pushed my wheelchair. He got saved in Chicago. When we got here, I had a girl that almost didn't seem interested at first, Regina. She got saved. You know what? That is fun. I don't know about you, but that brings me great joy. 2 people, their destination was switched today because of a wheelchair. The hard times can make you or break you, and I want them to make me. I have just jotted down a couple things, and you're giving me a signal. I'm fine with time-wise. But learn to find joy in the little things of life. Learn to find joy in the little things of life. I've laughed about this today, but I've laughed about the crazy things. I've written 3 books. They're out of print, but because of this girl right here, she's my helper for sure. This is Mrs. Dominguez, Abigail. Abigail is one of our girls, finished college, married one of our boys, and she heads up our whole, what would you call it? Grace for Grow, but it's all the media, it's all the printing, everything they do. She is laying out all my books to get them reprinted. They're out of print. And I'm like a little kid. I said, I want to leave something before I die. They're sold out, but I want to reprint them. And I'm having more fun thinking about this. Maybe God will give me more time. I don't know about you, but I've lived close to death several times. In fact, I just had a mammogram done last week, and it didn't look right. So this week, they're doing an ultrasound. They were doing an MRI. The MRI, I can't have it because it has contrast dye in it, which will just damage my kidneys, because my kidney disease is very bad. All 4 doctors that diagnosed me said I'll never live till my 40th birthday. All 4 of them have died. Don't mess with me, But that's the true story. They've all passed on. We led all 4 of them to Jesus Christ, every one of them. The last one's our Jewish doctor, Dr. David Ashback. I don't know about you, but I'm going to find joy no matter what. So now my MRI was supposed to be on Wednesday, and at the last minute they cancel it to realize I can't have the dye. But then there's like have an open-end one that it's open, but they said, no, we don't do it without the dye, because it won't show. And the guy said, we're trying to rule out cancer. My sister Sharon died of breast cancer. My sister Cindy had breast cancer a year ago and non-Hodgkin's cancer. My brother Jim had skin cancer. My sister Sheila had cervix cancer. My mother died of cancer. I guess I'm high risk. I'm not going to live paranoid. I'm not going to lose my joy. I'm going to cheer on my friends. You are my friends. I hope you know that. And it's a little harder sometimes as you get a little older, but I pray I can keep on keeping on until God decides it's time to go, JoJo. I need you home. Many times I thought he was going to go home, call me home, and Brother Howell said he didn't want you. He sent you back. And then he'd say, and we're glad for it. We're glad for it. You're going to face situations in life. Be an encourager. Try to be happy through the heartaches. All 3 of my books, if you really read them, they're funny stories, but every one of them are trauma turned around and finding the light side. That's why I'm so interested in getting them redone. Learn to find joy. A life of joy radiates happiness and peace. I am a pretty happy person. And anyone that has classes, everyone said, now that I'm 76 now, by the way. Do you know what's good about 76? You want to hear it? You don't have to take your shoes off anymore at the airport. I told that guy, he said, that's really exciting to you. I said, oh, yes, very exciting. I don't have to take my shoes off. He said, are you 75? I said, I'm 76. I don't have to take them off. You should be glad. My feet stink when I take my shoes off. Yeah, I know, and I was just having fun with him. But I mean, I just find the joy in the little things of life. Find the joy I was able to travel again. And I'm able to walk. That was my test. That was the first time I walked without a banister. Coming down, we'll see. But anyway, and these 2 girls, Leslie Schwartz has been such a blessing to me. She traveled with me just to help me with anything, to move bags, move things, help me out, grab things. What do you need? Couldn't make get this. I'll go get your breakfast. You know, I don't look for that kind of treatment, but I want to preserve myself as long as I can and heal. I'm not healed yet at all from my hip surgery, but I'm doing great. I thank you so much, Leslie. You're a doll. A life of joy radiates happiness and peace. People are drawn to people who possess joy. Did you know that? People are drawn to, you are not drawn to someone like this. Just how are you? If you only know. I am sick all the time. Mine's mental illness. It doesn't go away. No, I'm teasing. They haven't examined me yet. The guy would quit his practice, I'm sure, dealing with me. But you're going to have things happen. Find the joy of it. Find the joy of it. There's so many things that go through my mind. Like this. We went to Brother Joe Brown's church, the church he pastors, not his church, in Marion, Iowa. While we're there, he said, we're going to take you to an auction. I'm city girl, okay? I've never been to an auction. Animal auction. I was so excited, I could hardly stand it. You sell animals? Yes, we do. Well, my husband went and sat with the Brother Brown and the boys, and I'm over there trying to find them. And here's this auction. I went to my husband like this. He goes, sold, you bought the horse. I just bought a horse. I just bought a horse. I went, my husband looked at me like, why did you, what did you do? I said, he said, you bought that one too. The next one, I had 2 horses. I said, sir, I can't get them home. We'll take care of, we're going to put them into a container. What do you call them? A container. In a box, a trailer. We'll take them home for you. I had almost begged the guy. I said, how do you do these things? I said, no, I'm not raising that hand one more time. My husband had a near tragedy in picking me up from one of the meetings. I was coming from Mississippi, I think. I love this story because how it teaches how you can lose your joy or not. I have the joy down in my heart. Down in my heart. Cecily, where'd she go? She left. Oh, she left. She's right here. Can you play I Have the Joy at the very end? And I will be done on time. I'm right on time. I have 7 minutes. Okay? I will not go over. I will not wreck your supper. I promise. Because you want to eat, right? Very important. But I was landing at O'Hare Airport. My husband is a precious guy. He brought us all to the airport. We got up. We were supposed to get up at 4:15, but I got up early. The announcer, comes on your radio when there's emergencies. It's a weather check. Did you hear it this morning? It flips on went on my phone. Bad weather in Chicago. I went, great, we're flying out of Chicago. Well, I stayed up. I was going to sleep at least till 4:15. Sleep in today. And by the way, I still am teaching full-time at Hiles-Anderson College. I'm still a bus captain on the same route 48 years. I just keep on keeping on, ladies. Don't quit. I'm too old. No, you're not. Can you breathe? You are. get on the bus. I have an oxygen tank. It'll be interesting for the kids. You know, maybe you could switch it around, let them try it. I don't know. Don't do that. Don't do that. But I'll never forget that particular day because my husband, like tomorrow, he'll pick us up. He took us to the airport this morning. He was so cute. He was trying to get all our doors open. Wasn't that funny? Get all the suitcases. I was just loving it, you know. And I love my husband. We got to the airport. Mike, we won 3 of the baggage people for Southwest. We go there so much. And he comes, he hugs me. The guy, where's your husband? Oh, there he is, you know. We have more fun doing nothing but his big leg. Well, he took us, he picks up, Lord willing, he'll be there tomorrow night. He will. He'll be in the cell phone lot waiting for me. I call when we land. I call when we have our bags. We're walking out. We just have little signals. I love him. Well, I'm coming home from a meeting. Same thing. He's in the cell phone lot. I call him when I land, and normally I have a carry-it, especially Southwest. You can check bags, but I like to save time, so I just have a carry-on bag and my tote bag. So I had everything like normal. As I'm getting off the plane, my husband, he didn't call me. My son called me, and it was weird, and I called him back. I said, Justin, where's Dad? He said, I'm coming to get you, Mom. What airport are you at? My husband would never do that. You know, just send him. I said, Justin, where's Dad? And Mom, Dad's been in a serious accident on the Dan Ryan Expressway, right by the Sears Tower, the Willis Tower. They keep changing the name of the big tower, you know. He's driving. A lady on the outer lane cut him off to get off the exit. My husband hit her, and my husband's car flipped upside down. As he's skidding, he could hear the metal just against the road as he's going. He just waited to hit the wall and explode. He's upside down. Can you imagine that? We have no idea the condition he's in other than the ambulance driver called my son, because my son was supposed to go with us, and he's now picking me up. I don't know about you, but when you have a trauma, you go into a freeze position. Do you know what I'm saying? You kind of just freeze. I think the Lord does that, kind of just you freeze. I couldn't even hardly move. I said, Justin, you don't know how Dad is? No, Mom, we don't know at all. Mom, you need to get to the hospital, Northwest Hospital, downtown Chicago. I never carry money. It's a joke about me. This trip, I carried $40. I don't know how much I've spent on paying the guys that we witnessed to get $5 this one, $5 here, give them a gospel tract, $10 to the baggage people that took our bag. You know, I want to treat them right. I don't give them just gospel tracts. And so I don't have a lot of money with me. I said, I'll just get on a bus. Mom, you can't ride a bus. You need to get in a cab. I said, Justin, that's too much money. He said, I'll pay for it. He's a Christian school teacher. He didn't have money for that. But I said, okay. He says, get to the hospital. I'm in the car, and my emotions right now, you know, I couldn't think, almost like, oh, God, that's my sweetheart. That's my buddy. That's my lover. That's my best friend. And he is my best friend. As we're driving, I'm just about to break, you know, which is almost like a release valve. And as it was happening, I said to the man, he said, where are you going? I said, Northwestern Hospital. I said, my husband's been in a serious accident. He said, is it on the Dan Ryan? I said, yes, sir. He said, the jaws of life are on their way. They don't know if it's a fatality or not. They don't know if he's dead. Oh, I broke. I just started crying. I said, that's my husband. That's my husband. That's my husband. But I've got to know this. I'm talking out loud. I said, my husband's a Christian. He's a born-again believer. We're going to heaven, and I want us to go together. He said we were going together. But if he's gone to heaven. He says, how can you think that way? I said, because I've trusted Jesus Christ as my Savior, and I'm going to heaven. And so has my husband. And this man turns, the cab driver. He said, I'm the owner of this taxi cab company. I don't normally drive, but I'm driving today. He says, my wife believed just like you do. She died last week. And that's why he was driving. And then his next thing was a typical JoJo Moffitt. I said, really? How did she die? He said, I killed my wife. So now I'm in the car with a murderer. And so what do you think my next conversation would be, my next statement to be personable? I said, how did you do it? Why did I ask him that? I just had to know. Well, how did you do that? He said, medicine. I said, you gave her too much? What? He said, no, the nurse told me what to give. I just gave what, but she took it and she bled to death. I said, no. If you did what you were told to do, you did exactly, God chose her. He said, how can you believe that way? I said, Christ. Oh, I wish I could believe that way. I said, you can. As we're driving to downtown Chicago, I am now telling this driver how he can know for sure he's going to heaven. And he said, I want to go to heaven. I said, bow your head. No, don't bow your head. Keep your eyes open. And this is a simple prayer of faith, and I've prayed the prayer. Dear Jesus, I know I'm a sinner. And I know there's a penalty for sin, which is death or hell. Thank you for Jesus for coming on to die on the cross in place of my sins. You shed your blood for me. And right now, God, as much as I can say it and as truthful as I can say it, please forgive me of all my sins. Please forgive my sins and take me to heaven when I die. Today, I'm asking you to be my Savior and take me to heaven. Thank you, Jesus, for saving me. He did it. Oh, he was so excited. I was so excited. We get to the hospital, and Justin says, call me. He came out, and the man's crying. And Justin said, what did you do to him? And I asked, just as normal as anything, I said, Justin, this man right here is a taxi cab owner. I was trying to be a help. I shared with him how you can know for sure he's going to heaven because, you see, he killed his wife last week, and his wife's now in heaven, and Justin's just looking like, oh, this is my mother. You want to hear the neatest thing? 2 weeks later, he showed up at First Baptist Church, and he put on his visitors. I had the privilege of taking JoJo Moffitt to Northwestern Hospital to see her husband. By the way, all my husband had was a scratch on his head. Totaled our car. He bought the car new, but they couldn't sell it for a year, so they dropped the price way down. He paid off to get a new car and paid off my car. I couldn't believe it. We went soul winning in the trauma unit. These are seriously ill people. We had, I think, 7 people trust Christ that night, which we would never gotten in, but we were there. Then the ambulance driver came in, and in the what do you think they found of my husband's that they saved? Everything's ruined. There was a big makeup kit in the back that he was giving away as a promotional item to the ladies soul winning. What do you think they saved? The makeup kit. In the ambulance, they said, sir, the makeup? He goes, no, I don't use this. It's something I have. Yes, sir, sure, sir. When I got to the house, we have to know I see humor every now and then in things. I walked in, and these are the guys that picked me up, Joe, Josh. Sir, ma'am, can we ask you a question? There was something your husband had in the car, makeup. They looked under the gurney, and the hospital people saved it. He said, you mean this big makeup thing? And they said, is this what it is? And my husband goes, oh, come on. And I just said to the ambulance drivers, as serious as I could say it, I beg him not to wear it. I beg him not to wear it. A joyful spirit keeps you young at heart. Lift the spirit of others by being a true friend. And have a cheerful spirit, would you? God bless you all.